programs us to think, act, and do certain things. But we have to look at what is it propelling us to do going forward. And the solution is pretty simple. Reality TV is not going to help you be successful. You're watching people that are getting paid to perform in a certain way. That doesn't mean that you can perform. I remember as a child, don't do what you see on TV. I was told that. But I never replaced that with what should be doing. Like I said in my first season, I was a rebellious child. So anytime somebody would try to take fun or entertainment away from me because I wasn't allowed to run the streets, I wasn't allowed to hang out with a certain group of people. My mom, is the biggest influence in my life as far as parenting, and she would always, screen things and put certain boundaries within us, me and my other siblings. But I've learned as a parent now that I'm one that TV really influences our children, and that's where the programming lies, because the earlier you can program someone, the easier you can control them. So now that I look at television critically, it's used to control us. It's used to teach our children what's right and wrong, and it replaces parental supervision. And it's dangerous because as parents, we don't know what our kids are watching. We're not always around. And you might be a good disciplinarian, but I grew up in a time where you had to sneak to see a show, or you had to sneak to do stuff. Now that the internet is popping the way it is, kids got phones as early as 6 years old. And you're not at school with them. You're not on the playground. You're not on the school buses with them. And you're not constantly watching what they're watching. So they tend to get involved in things and get in trouble because of the things that they saw. Because the TV makes the child think, or makes the adult think, that what they're doing on there and what they're promoting is okay because of the ratings and how popular they are, and people are starting to follow and things like that. And see, we're tribal people. We're always trying to come together. But it's one thing to come together, and it's another thing to come together in a way where it'll enlighten you and empower you to do better in your life. And reality TV only makes things worse. There's no problem solving on there. There's no, for example, if you're constantly watching a housewife TV show, and I don't mean to bust out names here or make things look bad, but because it's up to you at the end of the day what you allow yourself to be controlled by. As responsible adults, we have to determine what's more important. Am I going to let TV run my life, or I'm going to take a stand, be a leader, boss up, and find things that's going to enhance my life? And reality TV wasn't doing that. The news, constantly, negativity, and I talked about this in my Open to Change show. You either with leadership of improvement or you're in leadership of destruction. And most news destroys people's lives. And some of that stuff ain't even true. But who's out there researching the truth? Then we got the gossip, the celebrity stuff, the scandals, and all this stuff. What is that stuff doing to your mind? Do you even know? Because I know I watch certain stuff and it triggers the wrong things, the wrong attitude, the wrong thoughts. Some stuff I watch that mess me up for the whole day. I didn't get anything done. The goals that I set for myself were completely ignored. My attitude was shot. And I didn't have a productive day, week, or month because I'm so caught up in what other people are doing. Because see, if 90% people mind their own business, they can get something done. So the thing is, instead of disconnecting from problems, focus on solving them. If you're having an issue in relationships, that just means that you're not good with dealing with people yet. And there's books out there you can read. There's stuff online that you can look up, and how to focus on, looking at who's successful in those areas and how they overcome obstacles with a bad or a toxic relationship. And that's why I brought up narcissism, because, TV brings us to this certain attitude about how to handle people. If they say something crazy, snap back, But it's an awesome book that I just got through reading called Dealing with Difficult People by Chris Brady that strictly says in one sentence, here it is. Don't be difficult yourself. Because a lot of times we bring difficulty on ourselves because of what we put out there. If you don't want negativity to come to you, don't put it out there. Poor people eat fast food. Large amounts of fats and sweets weighs you down. You can't perform on your job, you can't perform in your business, and you can't perform in your work and home life. Because like I said, true economics starts at home. It's time to get off the fats and the sweets and the oils. There's recipes you can make. There's dietary things you can see. Research, man. This is the information age where we have access to different information. We don't have to sit up and watch 9 hours of television to get the answers to our questions or solutions to our problems in life. We have to step up and take a stand and say, hey, I'm going to step up and I'm going to research on how to, improve my diet. Or I'm going to research on how to improve in my exercise. And I'm going to watch my weight. And I'm going to drink more water. Things like that. Just simple things. And at the end of the day, fast food don't do nothing but make you lazy and probably sick. And there's a lot of talk about certain foods that has put people in their graves early. And they would still be here if they would have ate right and seek counsel if they was having a difficulty with it. There's always a solution to every problem. And I'm just gonna, just deal with these two. The TV watching needs to be on a schedule, just like your meal plan. I started watching things that were going to make me successful. I'd rather be the person that's in the TV instead of the one watching the TV. Who's getting paid to watch TV? Nobody. But hey, if you can implement a program that does that for people, that's awesome. There's always ways to be creative, and it's something, you got greatness in you, so why don't you start applying that? Your eating habits have to change. Instead of getting chips and a candy bar, why don't you supplement that with a fruit or a vegetable? Fruits and vegetables really enhances the immune system and things like that, and it gets your brain working. Protein foods are awesome. They make sure your brain works properly and things like that. So there's things you can look up and do. And there's stuff that you can watch that's going to enhance you. I just did a Facebook Live on dream building. Like, I turned on this channel where people were, not actually people, but there are beautiful homes that one day you would like to live in. What kind of place do you want to stay at? What kind of neighborhood do you want to live in? Thinking outside the box. Because somebody got to think other than what other people think. And I've been a victim of that for many, many years. I thought that, okay, man, I can't watch TV. I can't eat snacks. I'm like, this is no fun. But you have to look at it in the long run. Is this really going to give you an extra 20-year lifespan? I mean, I don't know about you, but I would love to live an extra 20 years knowing that I apply some principles that do work. Successful people have tried it. It does work. And that's in future steps. You are who you hang around. If you hang around 8 broke people, you're going to be next. If you hang around people that eat snacks and fats and sweets and suffering from weight problems and obesity, pretty much you're going to be next in line. So you have to double check your influence. So those are some of the things I wanted to elaborate on. Let me know in the comments what you think. This is a pre-recorded show because I just got too many calls today. A little overwhelmed. But those are the two main ones that I wanted to elaborate on. You know, slow down on the fast food. I know sometimes you gotta run, you're doing stuff, and you ain't got time to go home and cook a dinner. I have an idea. Maybe you should just prepare a meal before you leave. Get up a little earlier, you know, and plan out your day instead of just getting out of bed, jumping in the shower, and just walking out the door. You know, breakfast is the most important meal of the day. I know when I started eating my breakfast plan, I didn't have to eat another meal until about 5 or 6 in the evening. So I could skip lunch because I'm not hungry. You know, a lot of times we eat because we like to eat, not because we're hungry. So, you know, you can do your own research on that and let me know what you came up with. I'll be happy to hear that. The TV thing too. I mean, you know, but at the end of the day, you have to decide, well, what's better? Watching TV, being lazy, not getting my dream started, and blaming everybody else for why I'm not successful. Or turn the TV off, get some information in front of me that's going to benefit me and my family, be responsible, and do those things. And then change my diet. You know, instead of the sweets and the snacks are always going to be there. It's okay to eat sometimes, but like every single meal, you got to have a cake, you got to have a Snicker bar, you got to have some M&Ms, you got to crack some chips open. You know, go get you a salad. Go get you a vegetable platter. Those are really good with some ranch, some celery, some cauliflower, you know what I'm saying, some carrots, you know, and you'll be amazed. Those cravings will leave, and then your body feels better too. So that's just some of the stuff I did to correct some of the things that was wrong with me, because when I ate all that stuff, I was so sleepy. I remember eating some heavy stuff at work at lunchtime, and then the second part of the day, I'm just so drained. Now I gotta pop, you know, energy drinks and all that stuff. This stuff is no good. It's just, it just does nothing but crash you. And negative media, all it does is crash your thinking. And then you're just back to square one. Nothing ever improves. So it's time to make some decisions, y'all. And with that being said, quote for the day. Let's see. First one says, lessons from the past create hope for the future and action in the present. So what is your lessons that you're learning from watching a lot of TV? What's your hope from watching a lot of TV? And what's the future and action are you going to take to, instead of disconnect, reconnect and get some better information in front of you? The second one says, potential has a shelf life. In which lifetime will you sell out and get what's yours? Wayne McNamara. Chris Brady says, at Rasco Tweets, better than your heart should have no words than your words have no heart. So, you know, we got to stick to our guns. We got to say what we mean and mean what we say. And we also have to take in consideration some of our influences are causing the issues that we're having, problems that we're having, or we're really getting better and better every day. And what a boring life to sit there and watch TV all day and eat snacks and get nothing done. And get irritated when somebody interrupts that. Maybe that's a sign that you need to slow down. Well, that's all I really have to say for this portion of 15 things that rich people do versus what poor people don't. I'll be back in future shows on part 2 of this and elaborate on 2 or more at a time. And hopefully you're having a great morning, noon, and evening. And I will see you soon. Peace.